Hello, and welcome to the Sunday meditation of the Light Institute at Galisteo and the Sanctuary of Light. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, we divide this meditation into 3 parts. In the first part, so importantly, we connect with our own higher self, the intuitive essence of our soul, your own inner voice of wisdom. We ask it to take form. We ask it to touch our body, and then we sit in meditation as our higher selves. After that, I'll do a little Om, so that you can push the button on your machine, and that way you can meditate for as long as you like in this first part. In the second part, we reach up into the cosmos and we draw white light from the cosmos down through the top of our heads into our solar plexus, our stomach. And from there we laser it out across the planet and back up into the sky. This is what we call the practice of radiance, so that we're amplifying the light in us and we're being more visible by extending it out from us. And this creates illumination and a higher level of consciousness. Another Om. And then in the third part of the meditation, we choose a situation or a place or something that's happening on the planet, and we focus our consciousness as part of our purpose in life out into the planet. Now this week, we're going to focus on this COVID-19 virus. And through our consciousness, in the same way that many Native Americans and indigenous people from around the world who had that power of connection with energy were able to shift things. In New Mexico and Arizona, we called the rain. And so what we're going to do is we're simply going to ask our higher self to show us a frequency of light that will neutralize COVID-19, these viruses. Diminish their power so that we can come to a place where we realize we're not the victims of them. We will use them for our evolution. We will heal ourselves. We will learn to move within our bodies, and that virus can be neutralized and released from its major role in our lives right now. So if you're ready, close your eyes. We're going to use our breath to bring us into a meditative state. So breathe in through your nose. And now exhale very slowly through your mouth. And once again, breathe in through your nose. And exhale slowly. Feel your brain slowing down into a meditative state. And ask your higher self, the intuitive essence of your soul, your own inner voice, to take a form for you. It matters not what form it takes. It could be a light or a being, an animal, a tree, an equation. Ask it now. Ask your higher self to touch your body where you hold your divine essence at this moment. And just imagine that touch anywhere in your body. And as you feel that touch, breathe in through that point in your body so that you're breathing in the vibration of your own sacred essence. And breathe it in. And then imagine that you're drawing your higher self into your body. Into your body from that beautiful point of your divine essence. And sit in meditation. Take a deep breath into your body and reach up into the cosmos with your consciousness and imagine that you're pulling down a beautiful beam of white light down through the top of your head, down into your solar plexus, And from there, laser that beam of light out from you, through your auric field, out into the world, and back up through the sky. And just continue that process. You can breathe in as you draw it down, and exhale as you extend it out, so that you're magnifying your presence and your energy and the light that passes through you and illuminates out from you into the world. Just allow that to continue as you breathe in and out. Om. Breathe in deeply and bring into your mind's eye this virus, so that however it represents itself, however you witness it, that you are focused on it, that you recognize it. You could see it or feel it, sense it, even hear it. And now ask your divine higher self to show you the brightest, most radiant frequency of white light. And imagine that you now laser that white light into that virus, so that the virus and all of its mutations begin to dissolve, begin to lose their power, their magnetism. Just keep lasering that light in until they just become weak, and then laser them right out from this dimension into the unmanifest and free them. They do not have to share space with us. We do not have to be their partners in our evolution. Just continue to laser that white light into them, so that we are no longer their host, but we are rather the channel that dissolves them away. Viruses, especially this virus and all of its mutations, it cannot live without a host. So as you pass that light, that brilliant light through you, know that you no longer are the host for this energy, that your frequency is faster and higher, and so it cannot attach to you. Laser the white light through you and dissolve it away. Just continue that. And imagine and allow yourself to perceive. Imagine your consciousness dissolving this virus and all of the negative viruses that are looking for hosts. We humans do not have to be the host of this negative chi. Oh. Take a deep breath into your body and open your eyes. Imagine that you really can choose not to be a host, that no humans, no animals, that none of us will be the hosts, that these energies will be removed back out into the unmanifest, and we will go on having learned so much about how to heal ourselves, how to take care of each other, how to quicken our frequency so that we don't magnetize these negative energies. You might want to keep practicing that exercise because what you are doing in this meditation is helping our entire planet. So I thank you. The second part of our meditations here is called knowings. And we receive wonderful questions from around the world, questions of the heart, questions that are important to those who ask them. And so know that if there is something that's close to your heart, you can send a message to the Light Institute and we will talk about it, because as we focus on these questions, we are uplifting and illuminating ourselves and everyone who's joining us. And so Allison will now tell us the questions that have come for this day. Allison?
The first question comes from Vermont in the U.S.A. Dear Chris, how does incarnational work? I'm desperate to let go of repetitive bad relationship themes, and I want with all of my heart to speed up my evolution and move forward fast.
Yeah.
Can this actually be done by clearing past lives? Very much looking forward to hearing from you.
I love that you asked this question, because the beauty of exploring our multi-incarnations of the soul, which you might think of as past lives, they're not really past, because the experiences that you've had in them as a soul are echoing through your own evolution now, even the same people. So it matters not whether, as you say, the theme is about a series of relationships, which are, of course, coming from those that we've made contracts and vows with in other lifetimes into this lifetime, but from our everyday, what's going to happen, who are we, and the themes that come up through the most elevated memories and energies and potentials, because we bring all potential from each lifetime with us as a possibility in this lifetime. So absolutely, it is so easy and it's fascinating. This is why I've been doing it for 66 years, because we are the best movie in town. You cannot imagine. People always say, I couldn't have even made that up. I don't know where that came from. It came from the mind of yourselves that are holding these memories from so many incarnations of the soul. And it's important to know that when we explore, as we do at the Light Institute, these themes and these experiences, these incarnations, lifetimes, the point is to release them, whether they're positive or negative. When we release the content, then the qualities or the energies can return to us on a higher octave. Even if you misused your power in other lifetimes, you will have it because you accrued it. And in this lifetime, through the magnificent energy, the impetus of the evolution of the soul, you will use it better. And so we don't have to be afraid of what we might find out about ourselves. It's fascinating. And we can look around the hologram. There are so many themes, as you said. Themes of relationship are very important in this lifetime. Why would we continue a relationship that's negative? We always say at the Light Institute, if you meet someone and you have that immediate energy, that sense of knowing them, that it's very important to clear them right away. And when we clear a relationship, it's fascinating, because we look at the lifetimes that they want to show us how they've known us in other lifetimes and what has happened between us. Because if someone is treating you poorly in this lifetime, I promise you that there's an echo of that with them or with someone else from you in another lifetime that gives you the opportunity to experience what it is to see it from all perspectives and release it. And so we look at that. We look at these themes, which could be relationship, power, health, divine source, so many different kinds of relationships and themes that we have. And by releasing them all, it really gives us, you said you want it quickly, it gives us a very quick boost up into a higher octave and opens up all the potential of energies that have been waiting for us to come to those levels of consciousness that would invite them in. And the beauty is that, again, we release them energetically. So we're not carrying the content, because our emotional bodies through the astral always wants to repeat and repeat. What we want to do is to come to the next octave and the next and the next, so that that spiral of evolution is very, very quick within us. So I hope that you will experience that. It is magnificent. We at the Light Institute work on ourselves all the time, because there is no end to the themes that can come forward to quicken our evolution, so that we exit this lifetime having completed many, many levels of unawareness or darkness, or even again misuse of power, or great possibilities. We have all been masters of some level. We have been teachers. We have been great beings. We've been wise. We've been healers. We have been that and all the way around the circle, the opposite of that. And so it is magnificent to give yourself, especially at this time, this opening to what you can do now with the energies that are really inside you to, again, evolve your experience in this lifetime. Great love. Allison, the second question.
Is from Rome, Italy.
Rome.
What is the deeper underlying reason for resentment? And how can we overcome this corrosive emotional state that seems to linger forever?
It is true that I think every single one of us has at least moments of resentment in this lifetime. It may take the form of, why me? Why do I have to do it? That place of resistance that comes. I don't want this. But the way that we move through that kind of resentment is by exploring, again, its deepest levels of it. Of course, emotionally, when we think of ourselves in this lifetime, everyone has experiences where they look at their lives and they feel, again, I did not get what belongs to me. I am not loved. I am alone. I am not heard. You are not giving it to me. And that is the crux of the evolutionary part of this conversation, which is that when we feel resentment, it is always tied to ourself and the outside world. That the outside world somehow did it to us, that our parents did it to our friends, did it to our lovers, did it to our teachers, did it to us. Instead of that power of responsibility that says, I must be a part of this, I will shift who I am. And this is where we free ourselves from resentment. Because resentment comes from self-denial, self-hatred, blaming the self, feeling guilty, rather than actually accessing from a higher octave who we are, the power that we had as souls to be present on the planet at this time. To experience whatever it is we've experienced it, not to keep going over and over and over with that repetitive resentment, but to focus our attention on something that goes beyond that limited, blindfolding vibration of who we are or who we are not, and what we have and what we have not, due to the outside world, but rather to say, what am I good at? I have a good heart. To look at the self and search for the things that can make you recognize and listen to yourself and acknowledge yourself and go on from those old chatters, that old energy. So resentment needs to be overridden by self-awareness, by gratitude at what we do have and the potentials we have, and build up a sense of self that moves in the world, rather than feeling that we are the victim of how the outside world sees us. And if we do that, if we explore deeply our true nature, resentment will dissolve away. And so one way to do that is by an exercise in consciousness, to simply focus on that resentment and say, I'm not going to carry it anymore. Now, of course, we can say these things and the emotional body will just grab on and want to hold it. But when we shift it energetically, we really have power over what is true for us. Let's do that right now. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath into your body. Exhale slowly. And now ask your body where it's holding any residue of that energy of resentment. You might hear the place in your body, or see it in your body, or feel a place in your body. Your body knows, and the body never lies. Where is that resentment stuck in your body at this moment? Whatever you imagine, bring your conscious awareness into that place in your body and ask it what frequency of light, what color will dissolve it away and free you from it. You don't have to carry it. It does not have to be your own repertoire of sense of self. So just see what color pops into your consciousness at this moment. And now suck that color into that place in your body that may be holding that residue of resentment. It doesn't serve you. It holds you down. You can be free. Let the light, everything is made of light. Let the light enter into that place of resentment and feel the light absorbing that resentment, dissolving it in whatever color came in and washing it out. So just breathe in, pull in that color, wash it out. Because the moment that you see the color, you have psychically, spiritually given permission to release it and to go forward in your life. And open your eyes. This is how you get rid of it. And this is how you quicken your frequency and go on again in a way that allows you to know how beautiful, how powerful, and how true you are in body. Allison.
The last question is from Switzerland. Dear Chris, in your global echelon yesterday, you talked about how we continue to squeeze our body after going through a stressful experience. It made me think of your words from a few weeks ago, above the fray. How do we get there when we're in the midst of the fray?
Again, right away, we know that when we are in the midst of the fray, we can't see the hologram. We can't heal it. We can't find the way through that funnel of initiation, whatever it is, because we're in the middle of the fray. We're in the middle of that energy. And so what my higher self taught me is to imagine that you could lift up above the fray. Imagine just as if you were just moving up into the sky, and as you look down, that whatever the energy of that fray, the battles that you're in, or the conversations, or the experiences, that they get smaller and smaller and smaller, because there is a pulse to life, and it is not a circle going back. The emotional body wants it to be that way, but it's not really. It's not a straightforward thing either. It's a spiral. But when we come up and feel that we get higher, we create a distance. We can look down and say, this is not going to define me. This is not the end potential of my life. This is something that I have, and this is a spiritual truth, I have magnetized to myself, not to be small, not to punish me, but to pass through it, to utilize it. My higher self always says, use life. So simply, if you were to imagine that you could rise up and look down on something that gets smaller and smaller and smaller, because when you are in that higher energy, we can think of it physically as up in the sky, but it's really about the quickening of your vibration, the expanding of your consciousness. You will see that from that point of reference, you can find answers. And these answers may not just be one answer. There's no one truth. There are many, many potentials and ways that you can come to this, so that you recognize that anything that comes to us as a gift to us to realize who we are, that we can move anything through the power of our consciousness. And so the way out of the fray is, again, literally to get out, to get above, and to go on. And sometimes it's just we need to expand what our repertoire is. If you find yourself mulling over, which is what the emotional mind wants to do, mulling over a conversation, I should have said this, I should have done that, stop for a moment And take in a bigger hologram. Maybe you can focus on your dog. You've heard our dogs making noises as we do this meditation. Maybe it's a plant. Maybe you look out a window and you see the light. Maybe you feel the blanket of night allowing you to rest, because we heal when we sleep. So you have the power over your consciousness. Use that power and choose where you place your focus, because everything is connected to everything. So if you place your focus on a higher octave, it will give you something that allows you to come back to that fray and shift it and dissolve it away, and to realize again with gratitude, with peace, that you are not just that. You are so much more. And above all, you are a part of a soul group who has come here to not only discover potential answers, but to enact them. Great love. Until next time.